So I love still being in there, driving change, learning with people, teaching people, and really finding that thing that, gets a business to the next level.
My guest today is Sean Pearce, an Associate Director at SRG Partners. He's a chartered accountant with over 18 years of experience across Big Four, listed organisations, SMEs, family-owned businesses and startups. He was previously the CFO of Casa del Formaggio and Water Utilities Australia. Was a senior manager of financial planning and analysis at Thomas Foods, as well as holding various roles at Elders. In these positions, he has gained valuable industry experience in the food industry, financial services, agribusiness, consumer and industrial products. He is particularly skilled in CFO duties, due diligence, financial modelling, valuations, mergers and acquisitions and divestments, financial reporting and analysis, project management, technology implementation, and much more. And one thing we didn't go into is that I actually was the DJ at his wedding to his beautiful wife, Alex.
Hi, I'm Sean Pearce from SRG Partners. Join us on the Accountants on Purpose podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bartholomeusz from Legal. The Accountants on Purpose podcast showcases inspiring accountants who are leaders in their field.
And then it just came to me like a bolt of blue.
What makes them tick?
Love it.
How did they get to where they are? I want to inspire. And what do they do now for their teams, their clients, and the world? Are you looking to make a difference in your accounting career? Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand have designed a new program to offer greater learning flexibility, allowing candidates to balance work and study efficiently. The new CA program offers authentic assessments based on real-world scenarios that integrate technical and professional capabilities and impactful learning through a blend of digital and face-to-face options. Learn more, search New CA Program today. If you could be a part of any movie or TV show, which one would you choose and why?
It took me a surprising amount of time to think my way through this.
It's a hard question.
So I thought about it and I went with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think, that ragtag group that goes out there, saves the universe, maybe a few little adventures on the side along the way.
That appeals to you?
Yeah, it does. I think it's, getting out there, the world's your oyster, explore.
Love it.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, probably the first thought that I had was to be a farmer. So I grew up on a family farm in the Adelaide Hills.
Fantastic.
My dad did a really good job of talking me out of it.
Okay, what did he farm?
He used to farm chickens. So he grew meat chickens.
Yes.
So we had that as the family farm. And that was at a corner of my grandpa's original farm, which was a dairy farm. So I had the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has your dad retired now?
He has retired now. So
happily.
He did that for 35 years.
Wow.
So I think when he was about 25 years in, that's when he successfully talked me out of it.
Okay. All right. Doesn't always work, as you know, with parents trying to talk their kids out of doing what they do.
Correct.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, I really like spending time with the family. Just chilling out with the kids. I've got 2 kids now. They're 8 and 5. Bit of time with the family dog. He's a young dog. He loves chewing things, so we need to keep him preoccupied. And I recently got back into sport.
Okay.
So I used to play cricket for years.
Yes.
That's not real conducive to family, 7 hours in the afternoon.
It's such a long game.
It is. So I've made the transition over the last couple of years to baseball.
That's
so now playing baseball, still throwing a ball, catching a ball, hitting a ball, but it's 2 hours of the morning, and the rest of the day is spent with the family.
Great.
Yeah.
Healthy, out of the house.
I try.
Team,
yeah, great
ticks
team.
A lot of boxes.
Correct. So I was really lucky. I found a team with a whole bunch of dads like me, between 40 and 50, getting back into sport.
Yep.
So, we have a lot of fun together.
Just got to try not to get injured.
Well, I didn't do that successfully a year ago. So, but back on track now.
Okay,
Knees all fine.
Oh, my goodness. I saw a dad post the other day about going to the skate park with his kids, borrowed another dad's skateboard, broke his knee.
Oh, no. I know. Yeah, that would be
lesson.
Me. So I think I'll give the skate parks a miss.
They're so much fun, though. What does SRG Partners do?
So SRG Partners is a firm of about 15 people. It does 3 core things. So does CFO services. That's anywhere through from a very experienced CFO to come into your business and take over either part-time or full-time, all the way through to what you'd see a CFO typically do. So project-related work, building a team, running a team, reshaping a team, running special projects as well. So that's the CFO side of things.
And you've had some experience with being a CFO before. Immediately past job was?
I was CFO of Casa del Formaggio.
Yes, for a long time. So that's food, fast-moving consumer goods, manufacturing.
And a little bit of agri as well. So it was almost
such a good
all the way back to where I was when I was growing up. So still connected in with dairy and farming. But a lot of those other aspects, in around selling, distribution, marketing. So I touched on, lots of different elements about what makes a business successful.
So then it gives you a good base. And then before that, you were in water management.
Yeah, so I was in a
that's
a
resources,
startup,
isn't it?
Infrastructure business, which was in water. So that was my first CFO role.
Mm-hmm.
It was an exciting ride. So we had 2 private equity investors, and they were pretty keen to get things moving very, very quickly. So it was a fascinating dynamic to work through that, along with having a startup at the same time.
And then before that, public company.
Yes, so Elders Rural Services. So had a long stint at Elders. It's around about 7 years. And I think that was really where I managed to cut my teeth in my career.
Definitely.
There was a big journey that happened at Elders to really turn it around.
Yes, we worked there together.
We did. So we were both in the trenches together. It was,
we were.
I think it was one of those fantastic experiences that once you go through it, though, you've got friends for life. I think when you've been in the trenches with each other,
100%.
I think that's where you develop, really strong bonds with those people who went through it with you.
Yeah. So then that background gives you such a great place for where you are now at SRG Partners to jump into any organisation, really.
Yeah, I think so. So, I became accustomed to not being part of the day-to-day. There was always something new, always something different happening, and lots of different types of experiences. Some of those things you drove, some of those things pushed you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what really makes me excited about what I do now is really being able to kind of grab a hold of where a business is and see what you can make of it.
Yeah. So where do you fit into everything that SRG does? What's your favourite part of being an associate director there?
Well, I guess it gives me, a leadership role within the organisation, but it also gives me enough freedom to be on the tools. So I love still being in there, driving change, learning with people, teaching people, and really finding that thing that, gets a business to the next level.
And makes a difference. If you're sitting back running your own business, you're not necessarily helping clients.
Correct. So it's, it's still a balance of that. I love going back inside the firm and working with the team and learning and developing the young members of our team as well. But equally, I love getting out there, working with CEOs, working with boards, working with other finance professionals in how can you develop a business to the next step.
Cool. What is the one skill that you've needed to be successful in all of the roles you've had? Like, what's the one thing that's common across all of those roles we talked about?
Yeah, I think that the thing that you need to be able to develop is that ability to tell a story. And it might be you need to know what type of story to be telling. So do you need to be telling that story in the way that it's, of optimism, it's where we can go, it's the new adventure we can go on? Or is it the story of caution? Is it that, there's peril over the hill, we need to be cautious, we need to take our time around something. So sort of knowing how to tell that story. I think it's also shaping a story in a way that can bring people on the journey. So, we work with people either, with a high level of commercial acumen, but others maybe not. So you need to be able to find the way to tell the story that takes them on the journey so they know how they can buy into where you might be going together.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I've been writing a blog this morning about Theranos, which was a med tech business in the US. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Well, the CEO wasn't that focused on governance. And I think what you've just described is why having more than one executive at a board table telling the story is so important. So she committed a huge fraud, essentially, by continuing to take money from investors, even though the technology she was developing wasn't progressing.
Yes.
But she was the only person that spoke to the board.
Yeah. Yes.
So there was a real lack of transparency.
Yeah, and I think that's where, we can all, as professionals, add diversity. So it's that real diversity of thought, the understanding of where a business is. And a contrarian opinion doesn't mean it's a wrong opinion either.
Yeah.
It's just a way that you can help shape an idea or a story.
And a different perspective as well. And also to then be able to use the board for what it's there for.
Yeah. Yep.
Use their contacts, their ideas, their...
Yeah, and I think there's inherently sometimes that fear with boards about what they might think or how they might react. But they are there for the guiding through a business to its next level of success.
So have you been on any boards?
Not myself. I haven't acted on a board, but sat in lots of board meetings. And
Yeah.
I think it's that story about how do you convey to a number of diverse people about where a business is heading.
Definitely. And then when you are on boards, it's the different hat that you wear about the questions that you ask people as well.
Yes.
So you'll be well placed to do that if you ever choose to do it in your future.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you most proud of?
Well, I think I thought of this in a couple of different ways. So from personal life, I'm proud of my kids.
Yes.
Got two fantastic kids, very loving, very caring, look after their friends. So I think from a personal perspective, I'm really proud of them.
Beautiful.
I think from a business perspective, probably one thing that I reflect back on is the journey that I was on with Casa when they were looking to build a new factory.
Mm-hmm.
So that got recently announced
Great.
in the last few months that they'll be doing that. So
It takes so much time, doesn't it?
It does, that gestation all the way through from the idea to being able to successfully implement it. So, that's a part of my journey that I'm really proud of. And then beyond that, I think it's just those little micro journeys that you have. So, those moments where, it's provide someone with a level of clarity, show someone how they can shape their idea into action, just those little things I think that, you feel pride from that you can
in the
contribute.
moment.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Beautiful. What is your purpose?
Well, I think my purpose, I probably haven't found my purpose in the same way that you have in starting your own business and doing things like podcasting. But I think I get a lot of joy out of how I can help others.
Mm-hmm.
So, working with boards to give them clarity, working with family businesses about how they can shape their future, their journey, working with individuals about how they can build out their skill sets. So, I think I get a lot of pride out of how I can help others. So I think that's really my purpose now. It's how can I get out there and really help people, achieve their dreams and, really embrace what their business can be.
Yay. What would you say to 18-year-old Sean?
Sit back from the world, see what the opportunities are that are in front of you. Don't go too head first into the first thing that you see. I think it's allow your journey to evolve.
And I think something I've got from what you're saying is do the work.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't just think there's a fast track.
No, correct. I think there's no greater reward from doing the work as well. It's often when you do the work, that's when you find the opportunity. It was, what was hidden under that rock. That's where, your next opportunity comes from.
Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to keep this conversation going in our private Facebook group, Accountants on Purpose. You're welcome to join us there.